Hello everyone, in this video I am going to look at Atheus. So Atheus is a welder, like we've seen with the patch notes. Also an intelligence-based hero. The class is a tank, and the primary role is also a tank. I think that's pretty interesting, having a tank and intelligence-based hero. So let's start by looking at the ultimate skill. It is called Torrent Hunt. Atheus waves his Deer Crown Staff, unleashing a torrential siege with the area most concentrated with enemies as the target area. The torrential siege deals AoE damage to enemies in its path for 300% of his attack rating and stops upon reaching the target area. After stopping, the torrential siege knocks the enemies in the target area back slightly toward the center of the area and stuns them briefly. Then Atheus generates a beast cage lasting 12 seconds at the target location. Any enemy that tries to leave the beast cage takes damage equal to 170% of Atheus' attack rating and is knocked back slightly and stunned briefly. This effect can be triggered against each enemy up to 1 time every second. When an enemy leaves the cage, their tenacity is reduced by 30 points for 5 seconds. Only one beast cage may exist at a time during a battle, and with level 2, a torrential siege deals damage to enemies in its path for 350% of Atheus' attack rating. Any enemy that tries to leave a beast cage takes damage equal to 220% of Atheus' attack rating. And level 3, if the tenacity of an enemy in the beast cage is lower than Atheus' insight, every 1 point of difference increases damage suffered by the enemy by 1% up to 80%. So doing some damage here, also doing some stuns, also increasing the damage if the tenacity of the enemy is lower than the insight of Atheus. Overall, this ultimate skill sounds pretty good. Let's go ahead and look at another skill. We have Spirit Wood Blessing. This is a passive ability. When using some of his skills, Atheus earns wood protection, which can be stacked up to 3 times. When receiving damage from a single attack that exceeds 10% of his max health, Atheus can spend 1 stack of wood protection to resist this damage. Once he has acquired the maximum stacks of wood protection, any more wood protection received will be converted into 5% of his max health. Atheus uses his Deer Crown Staff and Oak Shield Arm alternatively to carry out normal attacks. When using his Oak Shield Arm to attack, he earns 1 stack of wood protection, and when using the Deer Crown Staff to attack, he stuns the enemy for 0.5 seconds. And level 2, once he has acquired the maximum stacks of wood protection, any more wood protection received will be converted into 10% of his max health. Level 3 wood protection can be stacked up to 6 times. And level 4, when Atheus possesses wood protection, damage he receives will not be immediately calculated and will instead be calculated once after it cumulatively exceeds 25% of his max health. After a one-time calculation is triggered for 2 seconds, damage received will accumulate again. So it sounds like you want him to have as many stacks of wood protection as you can, because he will resist. Looks like he could resist quite a bit of damage. He will resist the damage if it exceeds 10% of his max health. It also sounds like you want him to keep on gaining that wood protection even after he has his max wood protection, because it will convert into his max health as well. Also doing some more stuns if he's able to do normal attacks with his Deer Crown Staff. Overall, I'm really liking the look of this skill here. The third skill I will look at is Purging Evil. Atheus taps the ground with his Deer Crown Staff, unleashing a cleansing dolge that deals damage to nearby enemies for 330% of his attack rating and inflicts spiritual stagnation on them for 5 seconds. When under spiritual stagnation, damage dealt by an enemy is reduced by 25%. Each time Atheus inflicts spiritual stagnation on one enemy, he receives 1 stack of wood protection. And level 2, while under spiritual stagnation, damage dealt by an enemy is reduced by 40%. Level 3, the duration of spiritual stagnation is increased to 8 seconds. And the first engraving skill we have with level 4, any beast cage on the battlefield deals the effects of Cleansing Indulge within its range. So reducing the damage dealt by enemies, that sounds very good, especially with this level 2 reducing it by 40%, so that is a big chunk of damage. So also having a beast cage on the battlefield as well, it will do the effects of Cleansing Indulge within its range. This skill also sounds very good. Also, that engraving sounds pretty nice as well. The final skill we have is Nature's Breakthrough. Atheus leans over, strikes the ground with his oak shield arm, and induces the enchanted wood to break out of the ground, dealing damage to nearby enemies for 260% of his attack rating, and stunning them for 4 seconds. Level 2, at the end of the skill, Atheus receives 1 stack of wood protection. Level 3, at the end of the skill, Atheus receives 3 stacks of wood protection. And the level 4 with the second engraving skill, any beast cage on the battlefield deals the effects of Nature's Breakthrough within its range. So doing damage, also doing even more stuns for 4 seconds, so that's pretty nice. Also can receive quite a few stacks of wood protection when he is done with this skill, and also the second engraving sounds very nice as well. So with the beast cage, you can also do some stuns with this because it will do the effects of Nature's Breakthrough. So let's go ahead and look at the signature item. It is called Edict of Nature. When you unlock the signature item, when a beast cage exists, normal attack damage dealt by Atheus and his allied heroes is increased by 45%. At plus 10, enemies within the range of the beast cage have their dodge and magic suppression reduced by 60 and 20 points respectively. Plus 20, enemies within the range of a beast cage have their dodge and magic suppression reduced by 120 and 40 points respectively. And finally, at plus 30, enemies within the range of the beast cage are unable to use their ultimate skill when under spiritual stagnation. So doing a little bit of a buff just by unlocking it with the normal attack damage, increasing that by 45%. I like this plus 31 as well. The enemies within the range of a beast cage will not be able to do their ultimate skill, but they have to be under spiritual stagnation in order for that to happen. So overall, sounds like a really good signature item here. And let's go ahead and look at the exclusive furniture. This one is called Spiritual Insight. At 3 of 3, each time Atheus acquires a stack of wood protection, his buffer is increased by 10 points. And 9 of 9, each time Atheus acquires a stack of wood protection, his insight is increased by 10 points. So increasing his buffer and his insight, I think the insight will be very important because of, I believe it was the ultimate skill that said it had to, if the insight of Atheus is higher than the tenacity of the enemy, for every 1 point difference, it increases the damage suffered by the enemy up to 80%. So I think you'll definitely want that 9 of 9 for that insight increase every time Atheus gets a stack of wood protection. Honestly, as a tank, I was expecting to see some more damage reduction from him. I wasn't seeing a lot of that, but it does look like he will stop the enemies from attacking your allied heroes quite a bit, especially with those stuns. So overall, his skills, he looks very good so far with how his skills look. We're just gonna have to see with testing if he's able to find his spot. I hope he does find a spot because he looks very nice. I really like the appearance of Atheus. Hey, if you made it to the end of this video and you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe to my channel. Also comment what do you think about Atheus, and there will be a video on screen that YouTube thinks you would like to watch next, so go ahead and click on that video right now. And thanks for watching.